Us! Hello Shotokan community, welcome to this class. Today we're going to look at the basic Kihon for yellow belt. It's kind of an exam preparation, so I want to give you some advice where to look at in your technique so that your yellow belt exam will go through without any problem. So let's start with a quick warm-up. Let's go to a Kibadachi. Kibadachi is this position where you have your feet a bit more than shoulder wide. The outer edge, the sutoku of the feet are parallel, and we are in a bit in the knees, so legs are bent. And what we are going to do is we are doing plie squats. So feet, hand at our hips and get down. Each, up, knee. With each going down, try to go a bit deeper. When you go up, please don't extend your knees totally. Make sure that your upper body is straight. We don't want to lean forward. This will warm up your legs. We're going to work on your legs today. Make sure everything is warmed up correctly. Let's go a bit deeper without leaning forward. This is also a dynamic stretch for all the leg muscles involved. And next time, we're staying down for a couple of seconds. Okay, let's go down as deep as you can. Stay down. And slowly get up again. Another time, and go down. And up again. Okay, time. Let's get our heart pumping a bit. Let's jog in place. Now, let's do our karate fist. Karate fist. Roll back our fingers and put the thumb on the middle finger and do correct hikite. Hikite, taking your hand back about or a bit above belt level, depending on how you wear your belt, and not tucked out, but tuck your elbows in. Now let's go into a jumping jog, so more of a jumping in place. Keep your hikite. We're going to warm up. With this, we're going to warm up our heart, of course, get our heart pumping, and our feet, and the calves. Okay, and time. First, or next, we're going to do a bit of a squat, but with our upper body, we do an age-uke at the same time. So this time, we're placing our feet not parallel, but in an angle towards the outside, maybe 4 or 5 degrees, a bit more than shoulder width, and mark the target with your left or right. The other one, the fist, having a correct hikite position, and when going down, we do an age-uke. We go up, we do an age-uke again. Okay, ready? And each. Ni. San. Shi. Go. Roku. Sich. Hach. Kyu. And ju. Okay, let's stay down a bit. Watch your hikite. Is your hikite really tucked in? And when we do the next couple of things, couple of age-ukes, watch that they have this cross. Okay, let's go up again. Ready? Mark the target. I do it with my left. You can do it with your right. The other hand is in hikite position. And let's go down. Ich. Ni. San. Shi. Go. Roku. Sich. hach, and Kyu, and Ju, and time. Let's stay in this Shikodachi position. We're going to do another 10 of those Agiyukas. This time, make sure in the beginning, when we mark the target, we can look up, but then afterwards we have to look forward. We have to look our enemy in the solar plexus area. We don't want to look up where the arm is. We want to stay focused in front. Okay, Shikodachi. I mark the target, this time with my right. On the left, I have a correct karate fist. Hikite, so the fist is not in front of me, but the fist is on my hip, and the elbow is tucked in. Okay, mark the target. I can look upwards. Actually here, do not spread the fingers, but have the fingers together. Okay, just this time, right? And ich, ni, san, shi, go, roku, sich, hach, kyu, ju. Okay, let's speed that up a bit. Another 10, and ich, ni, san, shi, go, roku, sich, hach, kyu, ju, and go up. Os. Now, next warm-up, we're going to work a lot in our Kokutsu Dachi and Zenkutsu Dachi today. So it's important that we have flexible ankles. So let's sit down and put our ankle on the leg, on the other leg, and slowly roll it. Take your hand and slowly roll it so that you reach your maximum flexibility here. Are there any kinks? Do you feel any pain somewhere? You can also switch direction. And switch leg. Zenkutsu Dachi, the back foot is really in a flex position, so we need to make sure that we don't hurt our ankles. So warm up and grease these joints a bit before we start with our Kihon. Okay, and time. Again, let's do some warm-up for our ankles. Just push ourselves up from the ground. This is also a calf warm-up exercise. Okay, let's try to do this a couple of times on one foot. It's also balance. And to improve your balance, if you want, you can straighten your leg, your other leg in the air, and switch. If that's too tough for you balance-wise, just hold on to a wall. Balance is just something we don't want to focus at the moment. It's good if we have it. Sometimes we lose it, then we regain it. It's like in life. Okay, and time. So again, now we're going to the Kihon of the yellow belt. First, we always start with Agi-uke. Let's go into a Shisentai position. Yoi, Rei means bow. Let's do Agi-uke very slowly. Mark the target. Go up in the mid. We have this cross and up. And up. Okay, let's do it. Ich, ni, san, shi, go, rock, sich, hach, Kyu, and Ju. You have noticed I've worked with my whole body. I push myself up from my hips. Let's look from the side how this looks. Let's do again, another 10 times of those. I start with my left now, right in correct hikite position. And ich, ni, san, chi, go, rock, sich, hach, kyu, and ju. So what to look at in Age-uke again? Always in karate there is a compression and an expansion in practically each technique. So in Age-uke we have the compression, compress and expand again. And the expansion is really wide. So for example, look that in your shoulders, you really stretch your shoulders out. It's not just the arm going up, but it's a stretch of the shoulders. So your, I don't know, how are these bones called? These shoulder blades, they can come together. So from the behind it should like this. And if you transfer this into this movement, then this is really an expansion. Let's do this again and focus on this aspect of the technique. So compression, expansion. Okay? Ich, ni, san, chi, go, rock, sich, hach, kyu, chu. Compression, expansion. Okay, another important aspect of Age-uke is the snap. In almost all the karate defense technique, we have this snap at the end. Most of the time it's a kind of a turn. And here in Age-uke, it's the turn at the end. We want to deflect, for example, somebody hitting us towards our head. We want to deflect his punch, and if we would only do like this, then we would have a small spot with all the pressure of the contact. But if we rotate, then we can distribute this pressure onto a bigger surface so that it leads to less damage on our own bone. So let's look at this focus on this again during the next 10. Okay, nice hikite. I have my right up, my right hand marks the targets. I look forward and ich, ni, snap, san, chi, go, rock, sich, watch, kyu, and chu, and again, ich, ni, san, chi, go, rock, sich, watch, kyu, and chu. So we have several things we can look at in Age-uke. It's definitely the compression and expansion, and also the snapping, and the distance between the head and above the head, and also where we look at. So it's a lot to integrate into this exam, and this is only the static Kihon. Afterwards we do the dynamic, so we add stepping into Zenkutsu Dachi. Okay, next, static Kihon drill, we're going to look at Age-uke. Age-uke, the down block. So Age-uke, let's go to Shisentai position. I start with my right. I do the karate fist with my left. Now I get together. That's the compression. It's like the fist should be with your palm towards your neck, between your shoulders and your ear. And the other arm should also. This is a compression. So we do not only this motion, but we also do this motion with this arm. See? Okay, let's start with this. And ich, ni, san, chi, go, roku, sich, hach, kyu, and chu. And again, ich, ni, san, chi, go, roku, sich, hach, chu, and ju. Okay, let's look at one of these aspects. The compression. The compression in Ageuke, again karate fists. If you want to have something to remember, just put your two elbows close to each other. If they're above each other, that's fine. Then it's correct. Then you're really in a compressed state. See? Both elbows close to each other. So again, let's look at the compression and expansion technique. Compression and expansion. Also here in this technique, we can look at our shoulder blades, how they invest, how they go each other, how they actually come together to facilitate this defense, this lower block. So let's slowly do this again and focus on what our shoulder blades are doing during the expansion of the technique. So, each, ni, san, chi, go, roku, sich, hach, kyu, and chu. Okay, that was the shoulders. Let's look at how we deflect the, for example, this is a kick. It can be thought of deflecting a kick, a lower kick, a maigere keage, to your abdomen, and you want to deflect this kick. Also here, there's this turning motion, this snap at the end, and we also want to, we don't want to face this straight, but we want to invest a bit with our body and have this turn in the technique. So let's look at the snap and the turn at the same time. Okay, ready? Ich, ni, san, chi, go, roku, sich, hach, kyu, and chu. And again, ich, ni, san, chi, go, roku, sich, hach, kyu, and chu. Again. So let's do Ageuke, let's do Gedan Barai. Now even a bit faster. Now we have prepared very slowly, and then the technique was very fast. Let's do also a fast preparation, and then a fast execution. Should look something like that. Ich, ni, right? Okay, let's try that. Important in this is we want to stay relaxed. So let's look at our shoulders. What are our shoulders doing? If our shoulders are coming up, are raising, when we do the Gedan Barai, then we don't have any space here left for the fists. The shoulders should be down. In karate all the time, when we don't need a muscle, we shouldn't engage it. So let's keep everything relaxed, but the muscles involved for the Gedan Barai. Okay, let's do it a bit faster. Shisentai, karate fist, ready, and ich, ni, san, chi, go, roku, teach, hitch, two, chu. Right? Now, for one last time, very important all the time in karate and all the techniques is the breathing. So we quickly breathe in, and then during the execution of the technique, we breathe out. So this leads to compressed belly muscles, and the whole energy can flow freely through the body. So we have this, during time of impact, the kime, the belly is engaged, and quickly afterwards, in parts of a second, we release this tension and stay relaxed again. Okay, let's try this. Let's put everything together and do it in a fast motion. This is a lot for you to process, I know. Let's do it anyway, because we have to get these repetitions into your body and my body, and do it over and over and look at the same techniques from a different angle. So let's do Gedan Barai again with our karate fist ready in fast motion. And ich, ni, san, Shi. Go. Roku. Sich. Hach. Kyu. And Chu. And time. Let's do this one last time and focus on correct hikite. Where should your fist be? Your fist should be, depending on your body type, on your posture also, shouldn't be too low, shouldn't be too high, should be naturally a bit over waist level, and important, your elbow should be tucked in. So it's like a spring motion. Everything is ready for example, a tsuki, or agiuke, or a Gedan Barai. If it would be too relaxed here, then this would be disadvantageous for several reasons. Let's not dive into this, but just use it. You can imagine it to be a bit of a spring. Right? Not too much tension, but just tuck it in a bit. Okay? Let's do it again. Gedan Barai, pretty fast. In Shisentai with karate fist, and look at our hikite. Okay, you ready? Ich. Ni. San. Shi. Go. Roku. Sich. Hach. Kyu. And Chu. And time. Okay, next, let's look at our stances. Let's repeat. Zenkutsu Dachi is the front stance. Front stance is you go from a Shisentai position, like a half a circle, go forward, and then if you look over your knee, you have a straight body. If you look over your knee, you should almost see your toes. If you don't see your toes, then you're too far forward. If you see the rest of your foot, then you're too far back. So the knee should be over the heel of your foot, and you should more or less see your toes. Right? Do this from the other side. Do it with me. Put your hands at your waist and do a Zenkutsu Dachi. And back. And again. And again, other side. And again, other side. And again, other side. Okay, if you look closely, then you would see that my back foot stays on the ground. The back foot is rooted on the ground. In Shotokan, it should never come up here. Also only in Jiu, in fighting, then that's freestyle, everything's allowed. But in Kihon, when you do traditional techniques, in Zenkutsu Dachi, the foot should stay low, should stay down, rooted, not something like this. Okay? Now, let's add stepping. Okay? Rei, Yoi, which is the command for Shisentai. Let's announce the technique. Zenkutsu Dachi, 4 times forward, 4 times backwards. And Ich. Ni. San. Shi. And backwards. Ich. Ni. San. And Shi. And Yame, which means stop. Rei. So let's look at some intricacies, some technical details about this stepping. Again, the back foot, which is in this 45 degrees position, doesn't raise. Okay? Now, something that is also very important in karate, we do karate with intent. So we do the step, that's it. We don't step around, we don't move, that's it. We know where we want to go, and we know how to get there, so we do it, and when we're there, there's this break and we relax. Okay, let's try this. Let's try doing Zenkutsu Dachi without any unnecessary movements. Ready? Yoi. Hands in your hips. And Hashime. No unnecessary movements, right? Focus ahead. We don't look down. And knee. Stay in this position. Next step, try to go a little bit deeper. San. Now, if your flexibility is not good enough, you feel that the range of motion of your upper body is not so big anymore. That's fine. And Shi. Let's stay in this position. Let's go backwards. Ich. Ni. San. And Shi. And Yame. Right. So we've looked at already 2 or 3 things in this Zenkutsu Dachi position, which is the base position, the most important front stance. Next, let's look at keeping our body weight low. So when stepping, we have a deep stance. When stepping, let's go into a pretty deep stance. And when stepping, in the middle region where we come together with our feet, we have our knees bent, so let's not lift our head too much. Probably some lifting is necessary, but let's try to minimize this going up and down. Some people say it's like a cat attacking. We're down, and on each step we don't bob around, we don't move our heads and our upper body up and down. So the position of the weight, the body weight stays low. Okay, ready? Yoi. Hands at hips. Zenkutsu Dachi, low position. Try to keep the weight low during stepping. And Ich. Ni. San. Shi. Same thing backwards. Ich. Ni. San. And Shi. Yame. Yoi. Rei. Okay, that was Zenkutsu Dachi. Let's add some energy and some speed without having this big break in between, so that we can get into kind of a flow. It's all together now, only with our feet, only stances, hands stay here, but it's a lot to process and a lot to do at the same time. Right? Yoi. Zenkutsu Dachi. Ready. Hands on our hips. Go deep and go flow. Ich. Ni. San. Shi. Let's do a 5th. Go. Same thing backwards. Ich. Ni. San. Shi. Go. Yame. Let's do this from the other side. It's always important to change the direction you do your techniques. And if you have watched closely, ideally the foot is not lifted. The foot that steps touches the ground, so that our brain knows where we are. There's no hole in the ground. There's no problem. The ground should just stay low. Okay? Right? Yoi. Ready. And Zenkutsu Dachi flowing. Ich. Ni. San. Shi. And go. And ich. Ni. San. Shi. And go. Ready? Yoi. Let's do the same thing again from the other side. And this time, I have the impression that I've bobbed a bit. I was focused too much on the flow. So let's come together when in the mid position. When the step comes together, we stay low. So that's also the compression of the technique. And afterwards the expansion. In the compression, let's stay low. Let's walk like a cat. Ready? Yoi. Ready? Ich. Ni. San. Shi. Go. And backwards. Ich. Ni. San. Shi. And go. Yame. Ready? And yoi. Okay, so this is the base walking, the base stance for this belt level. Let's try to add some upper body techniques with it. Now it gets complicated because we have to add our ageuke that we trained before in the static Kihon drill and looked at all the different techniques, all the different aspects of the ageuke. Let's add this together with this Zenkutsu Dachi moving in a dynamic Kihon drill. Right? Maybe do a focus and recharge. So we step into Zenkutsu Dachi and do an ageuke. We start marking the target with our right and we step with our left. And ich. Ni. San. Shi. And go. And same thing backwards. Ich. Ni. San. Shi. Go. Yame. So there's something pretty beautiful in this technique because if you look at the aspect of expansion or compression and expansion, then we do compression and expansion same time with our lower body and our upper body. Let's focus on this because that's one of the inherent beauties in traditional Shotokan Karate. We do the compression and the expansion of all the involved body parts at the same time. Let's change our direction. Ready? Yoi. This time let's start with our right. So we mark the target with our left hand and we step and we do the ageuke technique with our right fist. Now in a nice hikite, stepping with our right and ich. Let's look at the compression. Ni. Should be at the same time. San. Shi. And go. Let's look at the compression backwards. Ich. Ni. San. Shi. And go. Stay in this position. Look down. How is your Zenkutsu Dachi? How wide is it? Should be about at this level of maybe a meter or so wide. Maybe go a bit lower now. And without going up, let's do again 4 or 5 of these ageuke in Zenkutsu Dachi. And ich. Ni. San. Shi. And go. Now in stepping backwards, how can I make sure my body weight goes backwards? I could open my or take away the heel of my back foot and with this gain some energy because I gain momentum, but I can also leave it down and push with my front leg. And this looks better because in Shotokan Karate we always want to stay low with our back foot unless it's a freestyle fight, but back foot should be rooted on the ground. Let's push ourselves back with the front foot. Okay, let's do that. And each knee, push back, san, shi, and go. Let's stay in this position. Strain our legs a bit. Let's look how we move forward. Let's look what the front foot does. So when we move forward, we could first turn this out so that it's in the correct position afterwards. But what we want to train is we push our body weight forward onto the ball of our foot, and then we cannot turn the ball of the foot. There's no possibility to turn because all the weight is on there. So we move forward, and only at the last moment we turn our back foot. And this shows that you do a correct forward movement of your body weight. This is pretty hard to do, and this is not required for this level yet, but it's something that you can work on. Look at these feet, how they are moving, how you push yourself forward, how you move your body weight. What are you actually doing? This is an important part of karate. How are these techniques actually working? How can I do this? So stay in Zenkutsu Dachi. I have my left foot forward. We have an Age-uke position, and let's push ourselves forward from the back leg so that we cannot do this movement because all the body weight is on the ball of the foot. And each. And knee. And san. And shi. And go. So the going backward we have looked at before. Let's push from the front leg. Push our body weight back. Each. Knee. San. Shi. And go. And yame. Rei. And yoi. Okay, so we've looked at so many things now. Let's do the same thing for Gedan Barai. We've looked at intricacies of details in Zenkutsu Dachi. Let's do Zenkutsu Dachi together with Gedan Barai. Again, compression, both arms move, elbows reach each other, fist is close to ear and neck, and go out. Huh? Let's start from this side for this repetition, for this Kihon drill. Rei, yoi. Do a focus and recharge. So we push out our hips and we engage our belly muscles and draw in some air. Again. And the release of the air is we relax everything, the whole body is relaxed. So that we are prepared for the next drill. Okay, Rei? Next drill is Gedan Barai. We step out with our left leg into Zenkutsu Dachi, and at the same time we do the Gedan Barai with our left arm. Okay, ready? Let's try to have everything at the same time, the compression at the same time and the expansion ending at the same time. Let's try this very slowly. Each. Knee. San. Shi. Go. Let's go backward and try to go a bit deeper even. Ich. Ni. San. Shi. And go. Yame. And Rei. Let's do the same thing, but from the other side. Start in a different position. It's important to change your direction from time to time, also in kata, because otherwise you won't be able to do it. If you are in a new dojo, for example, want to train with other people. Right? Gedan Barai in Zenkutsu Dachi. Ready? Compression, expansion, ich. Compression, expansion, ni. San. Shi. Go. I have space for another one. Roku. And let's do some backwards, depending on how much space you have at home. Ich. Ni. San. Shi. Go. And yame. This is difficult, but let's add some speed, some energy to it. So let's do the same thing, but with a bit more speed and energy. Rei, yoi. We step out with our left leg and do the Gedan Barai with our left arm. Ready? Ich. Ni. San. Shi. And go. Backwards. We push ourselves back from the front foot. Ich. Ni. San. Shi. And go. Yame. Rei. Yoi. Let's do a focus and recharge. Rei. Shisentai. And okay, now let's continue to a quick cool down before we close this class. First, we grab our foot and do a quad stretch. If you want, you can lean on the wall to help yourself with your balance. If that's fine for you, you can also work your foot muscles to improve your balance and make sure you become a better kicker. Because in kicking, usually you're on one foot, so we need good balance and also good muscles in the standing foot. Make sure you really feel the stretch. Tighten the stretch if it gets loose. Slight pain is okay. Normal stretching pain, and change foot. Stretch the other leg. We've done a lot with our feet today. So let's sit on the ground and roll our feet for a quick cool down. And change the leg. Take the other foot in your hand and roll the ankle so that the ankle is correctly, dynamically stretched. Okay. Stand up again. Now let's stretch our shoulders. You can really tuck in. You can also grab your shoulder and pull it in here. We've worked some shoulder techniques today. Gedan Barai involves a lot of shoulder, if you do it correctly. And the other arm. Also here, you can also grab your upper arm or even your shoulder, pull it over. Just make sure you feel the stretch in your shoulder. Okay, let's continue with the shoulders and upper arm by pulling down at the elbow. Pull down the elbow towards the ground. You can push back your elbow with your head, leaning backwards. Switch. Stretch the other arm, the other shoulder. Don't forget to breathe. And time. Next, just let yourself hang in a shoulder width position. Shisentai. You don't have to go very deep. Just hang and do it dynamically if you want. You can increase the range by going dynamically. In the end, we're going to hold it at the lowest level for a couple of seconds. Don't forget to breathe, even though your belly and your lungs may be compressed a bit at the moment. Okay, let's keep the lowest position. Maybe touch the ground. Feel the stretch in your hamstring. Keep low and go inwards so that your feet are touching each other parallel. Just let yourself hang. You've worked enough. It's quite an intense class. And slowly get up. Let's do the other way around. Let's go back. Stretch your abdomen and extend your back. Now, let's do some slight hip twists. This is a cool down or the warm up, so we can really slow down everything, get relaxed, and slowly begin to think about the rest of our day. Hos, Ray, Yoi. So thank you for this class. I hope it helped you. We looked at some techniques for your yellow belt exam. Maybe you have to repeat the class a couple of times. It was pretty dense in information. Let me know if you have any questions, and see you in the next video. Hos.